What's going on, guys? I can't do that anymore. That's too cheesy. That's like my third time doing that, and I can't do it. It's not good. It's not good. Anyways, Happy New Year. Happy 2020. It's a new decade. It's already 2020. Aren't there supposed to be like flying cars or something by now? But anyways, welcome to today's video. As you read the title, it's January. TBR, it's my first TBR. Look, time out. Welcome to Reading Between the Lines. I'm your host, Brandon, and this is a channel where I talk about books and things of that nature. Now, we get into the video. For my first TBR, and I'm not really sure how these work or how I'm gonna work with them, I guess I should say, because I'm not really a fan of like doing things like reading or any kind of task. I hate being on a schedule. I was on a schedule my entire life, and now that I don't have to be, I don't want to be. So this is probably not gonna schedule. This is like what I want to read, these 4 books. It should go by fast because 3 of the books are pretty short, or at least 2 of the books are pretty short. One is a decent length and the other one is like kind of long and kind of like really in depth and intense. But I want to get right into it. The first book is Friday Black by Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah. And it's a book with a bunch of short stories in it. There's like 4 main ones that I heard. I watched a review on this, of course, and I just wanted to see what it was about. And I'll just read the back to you. There's some short stories in here that tackle urgent instances of racism and cultural unrest and explore the many ways we fight for humanity in an unforgiving world. And the first unforgettable story of this collection, The Finkelstein 5, which I read that today, and that's the only one I read, so I don't know anything else about the rest of the stories. The author gives us an unstinting reckoning of the brutal racial prejudice of the U.S. justice system. And then in Zimmerland, which is a story later on in the book, we see a far too easy to believe imagining of racism as a sport. Now this story, as I was watching one of the reviews, the chick brought up this story, and I was like, hold on, what? Like I literally was sitting in my car, I heard that, and I literally laughed out loud because I was like, my brain didn't work with that sentence. Right when I heard that, I literally went on Amazon and pressed buy now. And I gotta say, the first story, The Finkelstein 5, like I said, I read it today, and I was kind of, my brain didn't really work as I was reading it. I don't know if I was daydreaming or if I wasn't concentrating, or I don't know what was going on, but the things that he was saying wasn't clicking with me. I understood the whole concept of the story. I got that, but I didn't understand anything else that was going on. Like, if that makes sense at all. Like, it was just a different way of writing that I'm not used to. Hopefully I can get used to it. But also, last thing I'll say about this book is that a few of the reviewers that I saw said it's kind of similar to Black Mirror. I've never seen that. So if you've seen that, let me know if that's weird, if it's a crazy thing. I've heard it's a crazy show or movie. Is it a movie or show? I don't know. But I heard it's crazy. But nonetheless, this is the first book I want to read. Like I said, I read the first one. I should be done with this by like the middle of next week or something. And I'll do a review on it if I can understand it. So yeah. All right, so the next one is called The Last to Die by Kelly Garrett. I was in Barnes & Noble, and I picked this up literally because I judged the book by its cover in a good way. Can we get that on there? You see that creepy person in the window? Yeah, not me. I know it's dark back here, but not me. The creepy person in the window. And the house is in the middle of a lake, and it says a twisty puzzle of a mystery. I haven't read a mystery book in quite some time, so I really wanted to see how this played out. It seems like a young adult kind of mystery. That cover says, it all started out as a game, just a way to have fun. We figured as long as we had rules, it wouldn't be a problem. Rule number 1, only break into one another's houses. Rule number 2, only take stuff that can be replaced. It worked for a while. Whoever's turn it was to break in got a rush, and the rest of us laughed over the trophies they brought back. But then someone went too far. Lives were ruined, someone is dead, and I might be next. So I read that and I was like, this could be something like that I could really get into, not because I like death or anything, but because I like to be like, oh, who did what? I'm really excited about this. This book isn't that long. I think it's like 225 pages long, so I should be able to get this done properly in a proper amount of time, as long as the story is interesting. If it's not interesting, I'm probably not even going to finish reading it. Like this book I have right here, The Second Life of Nick Mason, and I got like, I don't know, a third of the way through the book, and I didn't follow the storyline. It seemed to drag on. It seemed too simple for me. Like I said, I have the page folded there, and if I want to get back into this book, I will. The description of the book seemed pretty interesting, so like I said, it was only $4 and I picked it up. So hopefully I finish that at some point. But yes, this book I'm really excited to read. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully, please be a really good book. Books with nice covers are like, they have to be a good story, right? I don't know, I'm a newbie at this. What do you want? Next story, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Most people on the planet have probably heard of this book. It's been out forever. In fact, it has been out, I don't even know. 150 million copies have been sold worldwide. So I know it's been out forever. The first time I ever heard about this book was on a Will Smith interview that he did many years ago. And I was like, The Alchemist. It sounds like a cool book and Will Smith likes it. But anyways, the story follows this kid by the name of Santiago. He lives in Spain and he travels to Egypt to find some treasure by the pyramids, I guess. And along the way, he meets some people that try to give him some help. I guess the whole story, or the whole concept behind the story, is that dreams can become a reality and to always be listening to your heart. I guess if that is even the thing, I don't know. I'm starting to figure out that I'm bad at talking about these books unless I read them. But anyways, I'm really excited for this. I got this as a Christmas present. I think I started reading it, I don't even know, not this book, but like the first time I set my eyes on these pages was probably like 4 or 5 years ago. But I never got into it just because I wasn't really into reading like that. But yes, this one is also a short read, as you can tell. I'm really excited to read it. This should be done probably, I don't know, 3rd week, 2nd week, depending on how fast I read the other books. All right, and last but not least is Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. This is a book that I've been wanting to fully get into for a long time. I started listening to the audiobook like a month or two, or probably like 3 months ago, and I didn't even get into it because I just knew I couldn't focus on the whole book through listening to it. So I know I had to get like an actual tangible copy of it. And it's basically 12 Rules for Life and 12 Rules for Life, an antidote to chaos. As I'm talking chaotically, is chaotically a word? I don't know. It sounds cool. But basically, if you check this video out right here, I read that book, The 4 Agreements. To me, this seems like this is going to be very similar to that book, but except instead of 4 agreements, there's 12, I guess, ideas that you should follow throughout your life to kind of create a better life for yourself. For example, rule number 1, stand up straight with your shoulders back. Rule number 5, don't let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. Rule number 9, assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. Rule number 12, pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. When you read these, you're like, what? Like stand up straight, your shoulders back. I've heard that before, but why do I got pet stray cats? You know, why do I got, like, some of these things you just don't understand. But Jordan Peterson, if you ever heard any of his talks, the first time I heard him was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and immediately I was impressed. I was like, man, this guy really knows what he's talking about. And I really like to just listen to those kind of people that just have gone through so much life and they have so much knowledge to give away to people. I just love to listen to what they have to say. And the fact that I can get my hands on one of his books, I'm just really stoked about. So like I said, it's 12 rules. And my idea behind this is, since I like discussing ideas with so many different topics and so many different people, what I want to do is create a 12-part series and just read each rule, do some deep dive, maybe research, maybe just write down some thoughts and feelings and maybe some stories, some anecdotes that I've had. And I just want to do like a 12-part series, releasing a video on each subject. That way I'm not rushing through an entire book and doing a whole book review, because I think a book like this should be discussed rather than reviewed. But that's just my personal opinion. So like I said, it's a big book, but if I do chapter by chapter, or rule by rule, I should say, I should be able to get one of these. In this series, I should get one video out a week. I don't think that should be hard at all, along with another video. So here shortly, I might have 2 videos coming out per week. I haven't decided on that yet. But yes, those are the 4 books that I want to read right here. A whole bunch of newbie pages. I'm pretty excited for them. Yeah, that's it. My first TBR. And hopefully I can stick to this schedule, or this, I don't know, whatever I want to call this thing. Hopefully I can stick to it. I think I should be able to, just because I don't really have that many books left. I do have some coming in the mail. I'll keep those on the DL for now. And I have a couple over here that I didn't read still, but that I still have yet to read. My vocabulary is off today. I don't know if I'm tired or what, or if this collar's too tight. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, thank you for stopping by and checking out the video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, of course, because I like getting thumbs up. I like people to tell me if my video was yay or nay, or poo, or good. Comment, yeah, if you've read any of these books, if you want to give me some insights, things to expect without giving me any spoilers. If you want to talk about any of them, of course, hit me up in the comments, and hit that subscribe button and join the fam. Join the squad that reads between the lines. Yo, that was good. Join the squad that reads between the lines. I got it, that's tight. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.